All right, so we are rolling here, but
All right. You look good, by the way.
oh, you look good. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I got to lose some
You
more
look
weight.
good, bro. No, but you look good, man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking care of people, you gotta.
You gotta practice what you preach, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, one thing I never trust a skinny chef.
Yeah,
See, it makes sense? And I never trust a fat doctor.
yeah, that's right.
See what I'm saying? I never
Oh my
trust a
God.
skinny chef, and I never trust a fat doctor.
Yeah.
You gotta practice what you preach.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, otherwise you're not living your full truth, you know.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So here we are,
Yes.
and you're preparing for your bare knuckle fight, huh?
Yeah. This one came out of the blue. We didn't want a bare knuckle. Obviously, I'm still in my prime. You know, I'm still in my prime, and these are my babies. These are my money makers. You know, I'm not trying to hurt them. You know,
yeah.
but given the circumstances, this was the only fight that was plausible for the time being, because it's so hard to get fights. You know personally how hard it's been for me to get a fight.
Yeah.
My last fight was in March of last year, you know, so let that sink in, you know. That's more than a year. What is that, a year and like a month or 2 months, something like that. And so it's like, that's a lot of time off, you know, and it's because people haven't been taking fights, they haven't been wanting to fight. When you're in the lower levels, everybody wants to protect their record. People want to fight, win fights, and take their pretty little record to the UFC, to PFL, to Bellator, wherever they may be. I was in the UFC, you know, and because of circumstances that happened, I got out of the UFC. So I'm a UFC caliber fighter. I'm an A-list fighter.
Yeah.
Because I'm an A-list fighter, these guys don't want to fight me, you know?
Sure.
So I've been having a lot of people pull out, and you know, I've also had a lot of organizations that haven't been able wanting to work with me, you know, because of set circumstance.
Sure.
And so we're here, you know.
Yeah.
This is what we have to do. This is what was given to us, you know. This is what was given to us. So this opportunity presented itself. It sucks that it's a bare knuckle MMA fight, but at the end of the day, it's no different than had I been out on the street right here, right now, and somebody does something or some
Sure,
shit goes
yeah.
down, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
I'm still, I ain't got no fucking gloves. I ain't gonna tell him like, oh, I'll meet you at a certain weight.
Yeah,
you
that's
know what I
right.
mean? You're just gonna
Yeah.
fight, you know? So this, on the bright side, is organized, you know? It's legal, you
Yeah,
know what I'm
that's
saying?
right.
Like, it's like another day,
Sounds
man.
like it's going to be one of the up and coming sort of.
Yeah, I mean,
fighter,
what's
genres, huh?
bare knuckle stuff is coming up more and more.
Yeah.
Eddie Alvarez, he just fought.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
yeah,
right.
He just fought, and he did phenomenal at bare knuckle, and they had a whole thing with that where Conor McGregor was there, and everything. Like, it's blowing up. Like, it's getting bigger and bigger, and they're paying a lot of money for that.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And this one that we have coming up is for Jorge Masvidal's promotion, so he's got a lot of money invested in it. He's paying the fighters good, and. You know, like I said, it's what needs to be done right now,
sure.
for the time being, in order for me to go where I plan to go.
Yeah, there's a lot of time and preparation that you put into doing what you do.
Correct.
Even before a fight's coming up, right? Because you're always keeping ready all the time. Huh?
Always, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be prepared. You want to be prepared for anything that can happen at any given time. You know, so that's my philosophy. You know,
Stay ready, right?
just stay ready. Yeah, just stay ready. And I knew this opportunity was going to happen. I knew that somebody would eventually succumb, you know, to giving me a fight. It was just a matter of when, not if. And when it would come, I have to be ready and I have to be adequately prepared, and I am. And we're here. And like I said, this is what needs to be done, and we're going to do it. A funny little story. I'll give you a little history lesson. A little history lesson on back in the Roman gladiator days. Back in the Roman gladiator days, obviously we had the Colosseum, correct? So we had the Colosseum, and the Colosseum was a spectacle. It was like the UFC back then.
Oh, yeah.
You know, everybody loved the Colosseum. It's how you control the masses. It was the biggest attraction. Everybody was about watching those gladiators compete in different set forms. You know, long story short, besides the Colosseum, there was something called the pits. There was something called the pits, and in the pits, That's what they called them. It was like an underground kind of fighting thing. And the people that would get sent there, the gladiators that would get sent to the pits, were people that were exiled from the Colosseum. There were people that they may have done something or something happened, you know, some kind of circumstance allowed them to be sent off to the pits. And some of them even got their way back, getting back to the Colosseum where they belong, you know? And the reason why they wouldn't kill them or just get rid of them was because they still had value in them, you know? But some of them are so talented that they worked their way back to the Colosseum and they bought their own freedom. Because in the Colosseum, the whole reason why you were in the Colosseum, the best thing you could do is to win your freedom. You know, so it's kind of like, this is the way that I see it a little bit, you know? I can't be in the high caliber fighting organizations where I belong, you know, so I was sent off to the pits, you know, so I just gotta work my ass off, fight 100% with everything I got, and eventually I'll get back to where I belong, competing in the UFC, competing in the higher organizations where I belong, you know what I mean? So
say the right things, do the right things, be in alignment with your truth.
Exactly, you know, when you know yourself, you know, life is easy.
You know, do you believe in past lives?
Yes, I do. I very much do. Just
me
like
too.
your little, that's why I look at your little,
Buddha,
you know, that's why I looked at his little, the calendar, the Aztec calendar. It reminds me of that, you know, because that's my people, that's my.
Because oftentimes when I treat these UFC fighters, MMA fighters, and you know, acupuncture is about energy, right? And acupuncture is also beyond energy because there's something magical that happens for a lot of people a lot of the times when you're getting the therapy. And many times I don't know how to say it, but it's like you're seeing the vision or the understanding that this person was a gladiator back in the day.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%, man. I know who I was and I know who I am not. You know what I mean? I know everything there is to know about me because I searched for it. And I've been coming here with you, what has it been, 8-9 years now?
Yeah, that's
you know?
right.
And it's like, even before coming here, I've always searched for answers internally. I've always meditated. I've always tried to look within. I've always tried to understand life. I'm a humanitarian by heart. I like to understand everything and everyone, you know?
But what is your thoughts about, because I know past lives is a thing that probably not a lot of people get into, although a lot of people do. A lot of people understand that. But, you know, God, the creator, the universal divine intelligence, and the name that you can't name, you know, all these.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
The name that you can't name for all the religions that are out there. The name that you cannot name or the name that you choose to name, you know?
Such a beautiful presence that's with everybody all day. And sometimes people just don't have the opening or the willingness or the asking for that energy to come through, you know. But anyway, enough about the spiritual stuff. What about acupuncture? How's that work for you?
I love acupuncture, man. You know, I've had many like people help me, like healers. You know, like people give me massages. You know, physical therapists. I've done a little bit of everything. I've tried like thing with the hammer and like when you hit some like bones or whatever. You know, I tried the Rolfing. You know, I've done so many different techniques and stuff. But one thing that I know for a fact that I have that works was acupuncture. You know, specifically coming here with you. And, you know, like you're my guy, doc. I've had, you know, like because there was a period where we weren't. Where I wasn't able to get in contact with you, you know what I mean? So we weren't together, and I've been working with a couple other guys, but it wasn't the same like feeling that I got when I work with you. You know, where you gracefully, you know, make me feel nothing but positive energy, and you know what you're doing. Like you're so talented. You know exactly where those points are. Look at all the fucking degrees you got. You know, like you know your shit, bro. You know. And long story short, what I love about acupuncture is that I believe that it works. Number one, it's an old school method. You know, it's an old Chinese, old school method. You know, And I believe the Chinese are great for that, you know, like being able to understand qi, understand that energy being that we speaking about, you know, that spiritual energy that we speaking about. And like I said, from personal experience, I know this shit works. Like wherever focus goes, energy flows.
Yes.
And that's a fact, you know. And what the needles do, you know, when you apply them, wherever you apply them, they transpire all that information and all that energy into that specific area that you're trying to hit it in, you know. And it allows the blood to just flow freely, you know. Like we have to understand everything from a quantum perspective of what we are. You know what I mean? You don't have to, but if you care to want to know, you know, you got to learn about yourself as individuals, you know? And once you learn about yourself and your body and what this is, you know, not just skin, flesh, and blood, but cells, you know, platelets, like red blood cells, white blood cells, like, you know, neurons firing in there, you know? Like, once you understand everything that's going on inside, then you can understand how to move everything, you know, because it's a part of you, you know, and the mind controls
and you're so
the flesh.
Connected to your mind, your body, and your spirit,
yes,
right? It's
yes.
like a oneness of the whole.
That's what I'm saying, you know.
The whole thing. So this is really a great compliment to you because it's expansion and also a connection at the same time. Because once you have your physical ailments with, let's say, injury or preparation for fighting or whatever, then you can do the work with the needles, and a byproduct of the needles is endorphin release.
Correct.
So then you're getting like a runner's high even, but it's like a spiritual high.
100%. It was like right before we came in here and we started doing this, I was telling Doc, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm so happy that I'm here because like I have to get off of the high that I put into manifesting my opportunity that I now have, which is a fight, you know? And I've been so exhausted from the manifestation alone that it's like I've been on this little bit of a high because I knew it was coming. It was just a matter of when, you know? And it finally came, but it's like I gotta calm down. And now it's time to just calm that energy down, you know, and save it. Save it.
How do you do
know?
that? Like, what's your process of calming down?
Oh, I can't tell nobody it's a secret.
No, exactly.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But the way that I do it is, like I said, I balance correctly, usually through meditation, you know, because I'm out of town and I ain't got you.
Yeah, that's
you know?
right.
Maybe in the future, you know, maybe I'll fly you out.
That's right.
You know, but what's it called? Usually I do it through meditation, you know, I just understand that I need to save the energy that I'm feeling for when the time is right. You know what I mean? You have to balance. There's a yin and yang for a reason. You know what I mean? It's the law of polarity. We have to balance that, you know? And I understand that more than anything. You know, I'm a smart guy, but I give credit to Allah, I give credit to the infinite, I give credit to the Almighty. Because He blesses me with the wisdom to understand, you know? And I understand that I must come off of that high and I must savor it, keep it boiled inside, and come fight night. That's when it all comes out. You know, and that's my night to shine and let everything go.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wishing you all the best with all your journey.
I appreciate everything, man. It's been long, bro. You've seen everything. You've seen everything, man.
Yeah, sure.
Since my amateur days, bro.
Yeah,
I've been with Doc since my amateur days, man.
Yeah, back as the Ultimate Fighters at the Jocko gym. And
bro, I remember my first amateur fight. Remember, I came here for not my first amateur fight. Yeah, my first amateur fight here in Florida.
Yeah.
You know, I was coming here and everything. So you've seen everything, bro.
Yeah, and the one in Texas.
Now I'm 11 and, what am I, 11-6 now? Like 17 fights, you know what I mean?
Wow, that's amazing.
Long time, bro.
Yeah, and you're proud of Mexican heritage.
I'm super proud, you know? I'm super proud of my heritage, you know? I understand my roots, talking about, you know, going back to Akashic Records, talking about who you are and who you were and stuff like that.
Genealogy.
You know? Yeah, like, I know who I am, Doc, at the end of the day, you know? I know who I am.
Yeah.
And I know what I know, and that's all that I need to know.
The, I guess, last question I have for you is, what, for somebody who doesn't know about it, like, how does the acupuncture make you feel? Because, you know, everybody thinks, oh, they're needles, they're pins, or they hurt. You know, sometimes you feel like a mosquito bite, or sometimes you don't feel anything. But it depends on also the energy of the point, or the stagnation of the body, or the inflammation that's in the body. But what's the feeling? The get from acupuncture? Yeah.
The experience.
Yeah.
The experience.
Like, what do you get out of it?
Well, I get the opportunity, or better yet, I get the experience of just kind of calmness, you know, just calm. And like I said, like we have to balance properly. Not even necessarily for fighting, but anybody, you know, going through life, you know, how life is very, very stressful. Life is very stressful, and it is very distractful, you know. People distract you, whether you have children, whether you have a wife, kids, or whether you have friends. You get distracted by life everywhere you go, you know, through your phones, through your TV, through music. Everything is a distraction, and we all are distracted. We have to learn from ourselves within, you know. So anybody going through life is very distractive. It's hard. It's stressful, you know. When you come into acupuncture and you get some acupuncture, this is your time to just let go. It's your time to get away.
Yeah.
It's your time to just internalize your thoughts, be one with your thoughts, turn your phones off. If I were you, Doc, I'd tell people, like, give me your phone, boom.
Yeah.
I'd pick up the phones first thing
Honestly,
first thing when they walk in.
It's crazy stuff.
You know?
I have people that want to come in and relax, and they've got the phone
Right
right by
there.
the chest.
Right, that's
which
what I'm
is
saying.
influencing heart energy and
that's what I'm
nervous
saying.
system.
Yeah.
And some people want to relax and unwind, and they're so like wired with this next call that's coming through.
Yep. 100%.
You know what? God, the universe, divine intelligence has everything sorted out.
100%.
But we need to sort ourselves out.
That's what I'm saying.
Letting go of the stress.
That's what I'm
There's so
saying.
much of
Like,
it today, you know?
you are so distracted by life, stresses, and stresses could be people, TV, phones, music, it doesn't matter, X, Y, Z, etc. But what I'm saying is, when you get acupuncture, and when you understand and you internalize, you know, that this is your you time, this is your you time, you have the blood flowing because of the needles, because of acupuncture.
Sure.
And this is the perfect time to take advantage of getting to know who's in here.
Yeah.
Our own individual selves, getting to know who really is in here, you know, and trying to get that oneness that we speak of.
Rather than that distraction all the time.
Rather than that distraction,
I remember Vicente Luque, the silent assassin.
Yeah.
So he was in here a little while back, and he was saying, you know what, I'm a professional athlete, and I'm using this for recovery, but you know what? There's people at home or at work that are professional mouse keyboard operator, you know what I mean? And then they have the tennis elbow and the whole 9 yards. So they're a professional with the same amount of time that he's putting into his craft that they're putting into their craft, and having an injury from it, you know?
Exactly.
It's sort of an interesting perspective.
Everybody, in my personal opinion, should get to know themselves a lot better, you know? It is only when you can, a perfect quote that I'll end off with is, what's it called? I heard this beautiful quote. It said, when you know yourself, you are empowered. But when you understand yourself, or when you accept yourself, that's when you are invincible. You know what I mean?
Well, blessings to you on your fight.
Appreciate you always, brother.
God bless you.
You know, 100%. Thank you. Appreciate you. And let's get this one. You know, let's go.